Motorsport is significant with Porsche. The DNA starts on the racetrack, and we don't shy away from the challenges that competition bring us because the racetrack, the stopwatch never lies. We have to compete against the opposition, and we have to be ready for the challenge that it faces, and that then is also going into the production cars, which is a great bonus. So in 1972, with the 917-10, they won the World Championship with really the first turbocharged race car, and with that inspiration, they then put the first turbo in actually Louisa Piech. She had the slim-bodied turbo in 74, and then the general production run ran in 1975 after that with a turbocharged 911. The significant style changes was the wider body, more aggressive stance with the turbo, also the whale tail, which was a new introduction, and then also the turbo logo on the rear of the car. Internal code name actually for the first turbo body was the 930. My favorite is the 997 GT2 RS. I have one. It's got a lot of power. It was still, the 997 was quite light, around 1,300 kilos. It was one of my first turbos I bought. Well, the latest generation is the 8th generation, the 992, 650 horsepower. It's an extraordinary engine, incredible performance. Turbo for me is 911 sheer power. From the 993 onwards, it's always been all-wheel drive. Racing drivers always love four-wheel drive cars. It now has variable aerodynamics, and it's really been the spearhead of the 911, if you like, in terms of the turbo component, being with a tremendous engine, tremendous power, and pushing the boundaries.
Whoever thinks of Porsche 911 invariably associates the turbo models with the iconic sports car brand. As of Generation 2, the G-Series, the 6-cylinder turbocharged rear engine, has been the ultimate of every model series. A true super sports car, the driver is at the wheel of the then fastest production car in the world. Distinctive features, a large spoiler and the turbo logo at the rear, internally referred to as the 930. The first turbo comes with a boost pressure-controlled exhaust turbocharger. As soon as it enters the loading area, a veritable storm breaks loose. The 3.0-liter Boxer's feisty power delivery calls for an experienced hand. After 3 years of construction, and thanks to intercooling, the turbo reappears with a power increase of 40 horsepower. A world first for a series production vehicle. More technology, more comfort. With a smoother acting turbocharger and chassis optimizations, Porsche presents the completely revised third generation in 1990. Equipped with power steering and ABS system as standard, despite economic pressure on the brand in the early 1990s, the turbo successfully holds its own against a growing number of sports car competitors. This is achieved through clear development goals that apply to every turbo generation, technical refinements, and higher performance. Last of an era, the air-cooled Porsche 911 Turbo Type 993 is today a popular collector's item. Flashback from 1995, the twin-turbo power unit passes the magic 400 horsepower threshold. Simultaneously, the Boxer is considered the lowest emission series production engine in the world. In order to transfer this power to the road, for the first time ever, the top-of-the-range engine is equipped with all-wheel drive. A concept that continues to characterize the 911 Turbo to this day. The new model with the 996, Porsche changes everything. In a break with decades of air-cooled history, the 6-cylinder Boxer engine is now water-cooled. The change is well justified. The turbo, with 420 horsepower from 3.6 liters of displacement, is launched in 2001. This model generation is based on a completely new technical platform. For the first time, the customer can choose either a 6-speed manual gearbox or a 5-speed Tiptronic automatic. In addition, an entirely new ceramic brake system sets new standards in safety. Evolution rather than revolution, the 997 Turbo is launched in 2006. Thanks to variable turbine geometry, VTG for short, turbo lag is reduced, a significant difference from the rough predecessor of the first generation. As of 2010, the 7-speed PDK replaces Tiptronic and features a differential lock on the rear axle for even better traction. New technologies. The 991 brings with it only the third complete platform change in the history of the 911. Active aerodynamics appear for the first time. The rear spoiler is optimally positioned, depending on both the speed and driving dynamics program. Another technical highlight is the rear axle's active steering. These technical developments always serve one purpose: maximum agility on the road. The 2020 world premiere of the 8th generation is presented online, a first in the long history of the turbo. And once again, the engineers succeeded in raising driving dynamics to a new level. Piezo injectors are used in an entirely new generation of engines. They improve response, performance, and emissions. Whether it's the 4-Bear from 1975 or the 992's perfection down to the last detail, they have all claimed and can still claim to be the worldwide benchmark for performance-oriented sports cars, something every generation has lived up to.
Die erste Generation des Cayenne, die Entwicklung startete ja bereits Ende der 90er Jahre und der Anspruch war damals natürlich auch schon, das sportlichste Angebot zu bieten. Beim Cayenne wollte man dann 3 Dinge: eine breite Spreizung zwischen Alltagstauglichkeit, Langstrecken-Reisekomfort und einer Offroad-Performance. Und neben dem Basis, dem S und dem Turbo war der Turbo S das leistungsstärkste und performanteste Derivat an der Stelle. In der zweiten Generation des Cayenne kam dann das sportliche Derivat GTS dazu, was den Fokus nochmal mehr auf Querdynamik legt. Und in der dritten Generation wurde neben dem bekannten, etablierten Vollheck-SUV das sportlichere Coupé gebracht. Und auf dem Turbo-Coupé basiert ja unser Cayenne Turbo GT als höchste Evolutionsstufe. Wir hatten den Turbo GT von Anfang an im Blick, also dass wir so ein Modell machen wollen. Beim Turbo GT kann ich mich erinnern, in einer frühen Phase des Projektes haben wir ein bestehendes Fahrzeug hergenommen und haben damals das neue Aggregat mit 640 PS und 850 Newtonmeter eingebaut. Unsere Vorstände sind das Fahrzeug dann gefahren und waren begeistert. Dann haben wir auch ein positives Feedback gekriegt und so ist das Projekt dann gestartet worden. Wir haben ja beim Turbo GT alle fahrwerksrelevanten Systeme, Regelsysteme angefasst. Also auch beginnend beim Aggregat. Da wurde Kurbelwelle, Pleuel, die Injektoren, die Turbolader, da wurde alles angefasst. Dann auf der Fahrwerksseite die Dreikammer-Luftfederung, die wurde nochmal härter ausgelegt. Darüber hinaus haben wir an der Vorderachse die Felgen um 1 Zoll verbreitert, den Vorsturz um 0,45 Grad negativer gestellt. Diese ganzen Komponenten zusammen in einem Setup auf den Punkt hinzubekommen. Das war auch die besondere Herausforderung bei dem Projekt. Das Gewicht war natürlich auch ein besonderes Thema. Dann haben wir das Carbondach entsprechend zugeordnet, haben nochmal eine Titanabgasanlage neu entwickelt und die Keramikbremse natürlich ist da auch ein großer Beitragsleister. Diese 3 Komponenten in Summe bringen uns quasi zurück auf das Gewichtslevel des Turbo, obwohl wir natürlich die ganze fahrdynamische Performance mit an Bord haben. Der beste Moment natürlich war auf der Nordschleife am Nürburgring, als es uns gelungen ist, da den Rundenrekord mit 7 Minuten 38,9 einzufahren. Ich denke, wenn man die beiden Fahrzeuge, also erste Generation Turbo S und unser aktueller Turbo GT, wenn man die sich so anschaut, dann sieht man schon die Evolution. Da liegen irgendwo 15 Jahre dazwischen, aber dennoch finde ich, das ist schön. Wir wissen, wo wir herkommen, das sieht man dem Fahrzeug an und das ist es, was Porsche ausmacht.
Well, we can also find the turbo in the GT1, which is
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. Inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside